No. I used to be a Girl Scout, and in Girl Scouts, when you raised your hand like this, it meant it was time to be quiet. Yeah, but I just gave you the lesson for whoever just said they're not a Girl Scout. I am so glad that everybody's here, that you're enjoying each other's company, and I know everybody could continue talking for the next hour. My name is Sally Savage, and as a member of this congregation since 2008, más o menos, I welcome you to the Unitarian Congregation of Taos, a theologically diverse, liberal, religious community open to all who are in accord with our values of equality, compassion, and the free and responsible truth and meaning. And if you haven't done so already, please silence your cell phone. Thanks to Jennifer Stoner for bringing the flowers today. And Patsy, did you bring the ones? Or are those the silk ones over there? I guess those are the silk ones. And you can check out the schedule for flowers on the table to your right if you'd like to bring them for a future service. I don't offhand know if we have any newcomers here. We do like to meet our visitors. So if you are comfortable doing so, please stand. Joe will bring you the mic and hand it to you, and you can introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and how you came to be with us this morning. Are there any visitors? Yes, sir.
My name is Steve. My summer home is Cleveland, Ohio. My winter home is Tucson, Arizona. And I'm in town for the week for a sports car event that's taking place at the Sagebrush. So if you see a lot of strange little cars zipping around town, I'm one of them.
And I just stopped in Cleveland to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. There are informational materials on the large table about you. Board members with green name tags will be happy to answer any questions you might have. And if you leave your email address on the clipboard over there, we'll stay sparingly in touch with you about future services and activities. Reverend Diana Davies will lead our service this morning. Rachel Cohen, Brian Lewis, and Joe Mazza are handling the live stream. And make sure today to join us at the Guadalajara Grill in Southside to celebrate and thank Emily Gillespie and Joe Mazza for all their contributions to UCOT. So when you go there, order your food up front, sit in the back, and it's supposed to be fairly quiet back there. Some announcements. Sunday, June 29th is the fifth Sunday program. It's called Healthy Land, Healthy People, Growing and Marketing Food Locally in Taos County. Such a huge issue now. The speakers are Emma Pattison, El Prado farmer, and Susan Moore, who manages the Taos Food Co-op. Please plan to attend, invite your friends, and join in a lively dialogue. So contact Gail or Julian for more information. And this is kind of like backed by popular demand from last year. Please consider participating in the This I Believe program on July 20th. We're looking for 8 to 10 readers to present their values to the rest of the congregation, what they truly believe to be of value to them or to the world. If you're interested, please send a note to B. Scott. Submissions are due on July 13th. So you have a whole month to prepare, and even if you contributed last year, feel free to submit again this year. Okay, Martha. Martha is going to play us a prelude.
Welcome. In your courage, in your fear, in your joy, in your heartbreak, in your exhaustion, in your energy, in all that you are, all you have been, and all you are becoming. You are welcome here. If you're joining us for the first time today, I'm Reverend Diana Davies, and my pronouns are she, her. On this Father's Day, we celebrate with all those who meet this day with joy, and we recognize all those for whom this may be a difficult day or a complicated day. We are with you. In May of 2005, a small group of people forming as the Unitarian Congregation of Taos held their first service. Since then, beloved members have joined and have left, and some have passed away. Many different ministers and guests have spoken from this podium and have held this congregation in their hearts. Soon, we will be saying goodbye to some of our most committed and stalwart leaders who recognize Emily and Joe. But here's the thing about a congregation that is so amazing. It is nothing but its people, and yet it is so much more than any specific person or set of people. Beloved names and faces come and go, and yet the Spirit endures. It is that spirit of this congregation, of this community, that we celebrate today. For our opening reading, I invite you to open your hymnals in the back to number 646, way towards the back of your hymnal, under the heading of Humanist Teachings. And this is The Larger Circle by one of my favorite poets, Wendell Berry. And I invite you all to read the words in italics. We clasp the hands of those that go before us and the hands of those who come after us. We enter the little circle of each other's arms. And the larger circle of all creatures passing in and out of life who move also in a dance to a music so subtle and vast that no ear hears it except in fragments. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for the lighting of our chalice. And you can say the words along with me, which are printed in your order of service. We light our flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In the search for truth, may we be just. In the search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace. And remaining as you are, let's sing our song for gathering in English and in Spanish. Again, the words are in your order of service.
We acknowledge the interconnected web that joins us as a community is to share the special joys that touch our hearts and the sorrows that bring us pain. If you have a joy or sorrow that you would like to share, we invite you to come forward, choose a stone, share your thoughts, and then place the stone in the basin of water.
Good morning. Good morning. My joy outweighs my sorrow because my sorrow is that we have a leader who thinks he's a king. And my joy is being at the protest yesterday where we showed otherwise. And it was like Martha's prelude, your metamorphosis, the bubbling notes, that is what the energy was like yesterday at the protest. It was like both sides of the street, all different colors, all creative, beautiful signs, creative, beautiful, joyful people sending a message, and they were just bubbling with energy and intermixing with tourists walking up and down, taking pictures and being happy, and it was a glorious day.
1,400 of them.
1,400. Why don't you get this home? Oh, thank you.
And what color stone would you like?
White, sorrow and joy.
Both, okay.
Oh, and divine. Oh, thank
My name is Barbara, and my sorrow was on May 15th, I took a really bad fall in my bedroom and had to crawl to the dining room to get my cell phone. But I've had lots of healing and help and support. Many of you have come to see me and talk to me. Thank you so much, and I'm healing, and that's good.
Thank you.
I have a sorrow. A good friend died. Many of you may know him. He was a musician in town, Bob Andrews, a keyboard player. And he was quite a character. He was an old British rocker who played with the likes of Nick Lowe and Brinsley Schwartz and Elvis Costello. And then he spent 30 years in New Orleans. So he rocked the New Orleans keyboard sound, and he was a great storyteller. If anyone has ever seen him play, he spends a lot of time telling stories. So he was, as part of his greater community. And yeah, fly free, Bob, and keep tickling those ivories.
I just want to note that to me, the joys and sorrows are one of the best parts of the service. Are you stepping forward? Okay, go ahead.
You all might know, Jim Schultz made it through the surgery removing his bladder, and he is now in Pueblo with his children.
Wow. Is there anyone else? Well, this stone represents all of the unspoken joys and sorrows among us today.
I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer or meditation. And start by taking a deep breath. Spirit of life, source of love. We begin by lifting in memory Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, who were killed by a man who preached hate. May Melissa and Mark rest in peace and in power. We also remember Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, who were shot, it seems, by that same hate-filled man. May they heal from their injuries. May they and their families know peace and power. May all political leaders who speak and act bravely on behalf of all their constituents, I'm thinking of Senator Padilla, Representative McIver, and others, may they know peace and power. For the children of immigrants who have been separated from their families, who have no idea if they will see their parents again. For those made to lie on concrete floors in detention centers, for all those arrested and detained without due process, held in inhumane conditions, may they know peace. May they know power. For the peaceful protesters and journalists hit with rubber bullets and tear gas, may they know peace. May they know power. For the woman arrested at a protest in Georgia for wearing a medical mask. For all those who are challenged by disability, chronic illness, or disease, and who worry about losing their health care. May they know peace. May they know power. For those who are bullied, abused, scapegoated, whose lives have been turned into political playthings, including trans people, pregnant people, poor people. May they know peace. May they know power. For those who labor in fields and factories, who receive injustice instead of gratitude. For those who seek the truth of science, whose voices have been silenced. For those who have bravely served our country, who have been commanded to turn against the very people they have pledged to protect. May they know a peaceful power. For all those who live under threat of bombs and bullets, Ukrainians, Gazans, the citizens of Israel and Iran. May they know peace. May they know power. For this community, this congregation, for all of us who are trying to live our lives as best we can, with decency, with justice, with care, with love. May we all know peace. May we know our power. Peace, mir, shanti, salam, shalom. May we rest in an abiding peace. And may we, the people, rise in power. May it be so. Amen. I'd like to invite Sally Savage up to introduce her film, which we'll then watch.
This is in the red beret, like the old-time Hollywood producers, but just didn't go with the outfit. So, welcome, fanfare, da 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 da. Welcome to the world premiere of Nurturing the Spirit of Life. I produced this documentary about UCOT to show it 5 years ago, but COVID got in the way. So this is the first time we've seen it as a group. UCOT's mission is to be an illuminating beacon and an active force, promoting liberal religious values and interfaith and intercultural collaboration to better our congregation, our greater Taos community, and the world beyond. As Marcia says in the film, live your values aloud. You are not alone. Thanks to everyone who contributed photos. Chuck and Marcia Fons, Bob Albrecht, Linda Albrecht, Brenda Clark, Maya Kersey, Rachel Cohen, Linda Drew, Martha Grossman, Don Keith, Barbara Martinez, Gail and Ty Minton, Sam Richardson, me, Bob Silver, and Elaine Taylor. And special thanks always to Martha for her lovely music. At UCOT, we are not alone. Imagine that you had never crossed paths with the other people of UCOT, or Masha, or Chuck. How different would your path be at this point? So, please. I guess I could turn that off.
My name is Chuck Fawns.
My name is Marcia Fawns.
My involvement in Unitarian Universalism goes back to the mid-70s, which means that basically I've been involved in one form or another for about 45 years.
Inside every single Tesla vehicle is a secret technology that's about to unlock an entirely new high-growth market.
My involvement with Unitarian Universalism began in the late 70s, so that would be about 40 some years myself. When I found Unitarianism, it was so important because I realized that my idealism and the values I had about how to live, how to be, were already being practiced and encouraged in a religious community. And when I found Unitarianism in Dallas, Texas, so many years ago, it just helped me become more myself. It was a very important part of my whole philosophical approach to being in the world, and I had a wonderful community of people that I became involved with very, very early on.
We moved to Taos in 2001, and we knew there wasn't a Unitarian church here. So we tried several of the churches that were here, and that worked fairly well for a few months, but then we began to really miss having the kind of system support and philosophy that we were used to in our church that we came from back in Dallas. So we decided that it was time to try to figure out what we could do about that. But during that same time period, we kind of explored with other friends that we had made early on.
To honor this point in the life of our congregation. I don't have my sound. Oh, yes, I do.
I'm going to invite people to come up in based on how long you've been a part of this congregation. But I'd like to begin by inviting Chuck and Marcia to come up and say a few words. And then when you're done, just to take a little bit of sand and just to pour it into the jar. There's a trick to pouring this. There's a little plastic lid on the top. You have to unscrew it, and then you have to squeeze it from the skinny ends or it won't come out. And we have plenty of sand, so use enough that until you can see it in there. But I'd like to invite Chuck and Marcia to come up first.
This is okay, good. I feel such gratitude today. It's an extreme shock that 20 years has passed. I mean, flown by in so many ways. We had no intention of starting a Unitarian church when we moved here, but it had to happen. It just absolutely had to happen. And there are so many wonderful people that along the way kept us going. And it was just a couple of us to begin with. Diane, you were there. Marge, you were there. There were so many people from the very beginning, people who have left us for health reasons, people who have passed on. But I feel so much gratitude. And in these times, even more so than when we started it, we need each other. Our loving support and understanding as we face a world that is increasingly unfair and unkind. And those of you who are here because you embrace Unitarian values. The mission that Chuck Davies to evolve our mission statements. We worked on that so hard. We care. We have compassion. We feel the suffering. We have the courage to look at it in the face and stand up to it. And having each other where we can meet and encourage each other's growth is just so important. So, we're going to feel awful losing Emily and Joe. We feel really sad about people that as we get older, we can't give as much. We can't do as much. We step back more because our energy and all, but there are a lot of new, wonderful people that find us. And a lot of you have time or energy to give. You don't have to be in the forefront. I tend to love to be in the back. I like to make phone calls and make food and nurture people in a different way. And there are lots of ways you can be part of us. And I really believe we've got a wonderful future ahead, just continuing to give to each other. I looked up the definition of community, knowing that I was going to have a chance to talk a little bit. And the definition of community: a group of people who share a sense of belonging and often a common identity or purpose. That would be us. And I just thank all of you so much for being part of this community. And you are my beloved family. And ironically, if you didn't know the fawns were frugal, this is the same shirt Chuck had 5 years ago.
I was going to try to get by without that. Yeah. Okay.
This is so mean. Okay, the skinny part. Yeah. I can just do a little. It's fun.
Well, I guess I would like to blame the Taos allergies, but I noticed I was crying. So it certainly is going to be hard for me to add to the wonderful video you just saw that was produced by Sally Savage in 2005. So I'll only try just a little bit. We have changed. We've grown. We are a vital part of Taos, and we've built a loving, nurturing community. For that, we can all take credit and be grateful. The vision that Marcia and I had back in 2004 has come alive and will continue. We are and will be eternally grateful to those who were so instrumental in the past, many of whom you saw in the video and are now no longer with us due to death or the choices they have made. We've come a long way as Unitarian Universalists in this house, and we anticipate a future with promise and success. The continued participation of all of you is vital. Our compassionate attitudes and actions, individually and as a congregational presence, must continue to be a vital focus for good in Taos and in this country. You are now our future. Hold that future, nurture it, and cause it to blossom. Thank you for your spirit and your devotion.
Now I'd like to invite other founders, besides Chuck and Marcia, to come up and put some sand in the jar. I'm trying to do a little color coding, so if you've been a longer term member, I'm going to invite you to use kind of the cool colors, and when we get to the newer folks, we'll use the warmer colors. But I'd like to invite, or just mention, and as I say your names, if you could come up, Rachel Kahn, Bob Albrecht, Diane Frost, Donna Collins, Gail Minton, Linda Malm. If you'd like to come up and add some sand, you're welcome to say nothing and just give your blessing, or if you'd like to use the microphone and just say a few words about what this congregation means to you. It's on.
I am so appreciative to Chuck and Marcia. I remember meeting you two in the early 2000s. We were just coming here part-time, and then we bought a house in 2004, and we still came part-time, but they were having these meetings, and we went occasionally when we were in town talking about this idea of theirs, and we were so excited because there was a discussion group, but it wasn't a congregational, and it wasn't a church. And I remember all the different places we met, and it was all excited, and here we are, a big group. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is just a wonderful miracle that a group like this can continue and grow and be so outward-looking to our community. It was fun in those early Hogan days, and the Jewish Center, when Chuck and Marcia had a little friend who was 5 years old, and he played a drum and I played my flute, and it was quite silly. And then when Chuck would call from the Mesa and say, "Could you please light the fire this morning in the Hogan?" I would say, "I'll try." And that was a pretty rickety wood stove. And I think for Ty, it was just wonderful that we could move out of Presbyterian to here. So it's been a wonderful move, and very smart that we're staying with a rental kind of situation for now. So blessings to everyone.
For 10 years or more to come up and put some sand into the jar. I do invite you to say a few words, but because I know people want to get to lunch, please keep them as brief as you can. So anyone who's been a member for over 10 years, I invite you to come on up. I know. Using the cooler colors, yeah. And if somebody could speak while others are pouring their sand, that'll help us move along.
Well, it's been a privilege for me to belong to the Unitarian congregation, and I've been on the board now for, I don't even know, 12 years maybe. Um, but I know this, everything I do for the Unitarian congregation, including just seeing people on Sundays, is a live wire connection. It keeps me alive and thriving, and I think others feel the same here. And this is the one place that you can reliably go, and then you can kind of take that into the community and put your live wire. I had a voice come into my head one time that said, "You're a charged particle." And I thought, what is that? But I think we're all charged particles here. We can take it on the road.
When Wally and I moved here, we had known Chuck and Marcia at the Unitarian congregation in Dallas. So it was just a wonderful way to have an automatic community when we arrived.
My first service, I think, was about 2011 or 12. Carol Zarumsky, I came from St. James, although we didn't leave St. James. Anyway, my first service, back up, my first service was at the Ranchos Church, and I saw it advertised. It was a winter solstice service, and it was about light in the wintertime. And it was about Hanukkah and Christmas and solstice and Kwanzaa. And I went, it was conducted by a woman minister from Albuquerque, who was a friend of Donna Collins, and I don't remember her name. And she did the lighting of candles in all these different traditions. And I said, oh my God, these are my people.
I'd now like to invite anybody who has been, if you can remember these dates, I know it gets hard, a member for more than 5 years to come on up. And again, while one person is speaking, if the other people can be pouring their sand, that would be great.
Hi, I'm Marianne Ferretti. I don't really know, except that I know that I was friends with Ann Pillar, but I didn't join them. And then Barbara joined. And then by the time I... So I think I'm like one of those weeds that grows. And I'm so grateful, Chuck and Marcia, close friends. I mean, Mikey and B. I mean, Emily, Julian, Yvonne. I mean, and then Yvonne, we started one of those groups that I don't remember what they were called. No, what it was some kind of, it was a Unitarian thing. Anyway, we've been meeting for how many years? 7 years. So before 7 years. Yeah.
I just need to echo Betty, because that's what happened to me. I came to a service and I was sitting in the back and I listened to everything and I said, oh, these are my people.
I don't remember the exact service that I first came to, but it was in the Ranchos Presbyterian Church. And I remember thinking, well, this seems like a great, great improvement over my many, many years of childhood as a Methodist.
I love the love and support that this congregation helps bring to our community.
And I invite everyone who has been a member for under 5 years or who is on the track to membership, who is planning to become a member, to come up, use one of the warmer colors if you can, and just, you're welcome to say some words or not.
Thank Chuck and Marcia for being my neighbors. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Hi, I want to thank Chuck. I met him at the Democratic Party for the first time, and he was always there every time I went. And also, I really love this community. Thank you.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you to this whole congregation for putting your ad up, first of all, and hiring me to take over the audio. And sorry for some of the mistakes today, but I hope to make that better in the future. And I just wanted to say this is really a wonderful congregation. And being that I'm a traditional Jew Hindu, and I was a member of Chabad for tradition, but I really love this congregation and what you stand for. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I just wanted to say this. 2 weeks ago, when we were listening to your meditation, online, I actually just started crying, and I didn't watch anything Joe was doing, so that's why I'm making more mistakes today. But thank you very much for having me as your audio person.
Invite Rachel and Martha also to come over and put in some singing. No? Or not. It's okay.
Martha, you got invited up too. I just want to say I've been here since November 2018, and I am a paid staff member, and I feel that I have continued to stay here because it feels like my service, and it's been beautiful to serve this congregation, and my heart feels so open and connected, and you are my people. I'm happy to be able to share that with you. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me.
And finally, I'd like to invite Emily Gillespie to come up and just say a couple of closing words for this ritual. Emily will be leaving us soon, but she is leaving us in the position to formally become a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. So as we say goodbye, we are also saying hello to a new era for the Unitarian Congregation of Taos.
I don't think that, oh, it's working. Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone. As we look back on the founding of this congregation 20 years ago, I'm struck by what a remarkable journey we've all been on together. And now as our next step, we have applied for full membership with the UUA. The various required documents have all been submitted and they are currently being reviewed. So I hope it won't be too much longer. As you all know, this is the last time that Joe and I will be able to attend here. I have been honored to know and work with all of you, and we will miss all of you. It is our hope that UCOT continues to grow and thrive. Thank you.
Today's offering will now be received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. I neglected to ask a couple people up front, so could I have 2 volunteers? After the service, if everyone would please join us for a group photo. And if you don't want to be in it, could you be my photography assistant? Thank you.
Hear it for our hymn, which is number 145, As Tranquil Streams. Please be seated. During the postlude, all are invited the strip of paper that you received when you came in. And if you didn't get a strip of paper, I think there are some over on the table there, and there's some extra pens. And I invite you to take that time to write out a blessing for this congregation, for the future members, some of whom we've met, some of whom don't even live here yet and have no idea that this will become their community. I invite you to write a blessing for them. And after the postlude, as you exit, you'll see over there by the door, over by the name tag stand, a little very handmade loom. And I invite you to weave your blessing into the loom. We'll tighten it all up, and we'll end up with a tapestry of blessings. But first, let's extinguish our chalice. I invite you to say the words along with me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And I leave you today with this simple blessing. Go, dear ones, knowing that you are never alone, that you are held in the embrace of this community, whether you are near or far away, that you are held in a cloud of love. Go in peace. Go in your power. May it be so.